there, Anthem. Welcome to chapel. Well, this is an exciting week. This week marks the end of the first quarter. So congratulations on making it through this first part of our school year. This week also marks the end of our learning camp that we've been doing for this entire first quarter. Next week, because our waiver was approved and our school has been cleared to open, some of you will be returning to campus and joining us in the classrooms. Now, chapel will not look normal like it did last year because we still can't gather in large groups. So even though we are returning to campus, we will still be continuing to have chapel via video for now. So for those of you who are here on campus next week, you'll watch chapel in your classrooms with your teacher. For those of you who are at home, you'll still be able to continue watching chapel and join us in that. So we'll all be in it together. For now, let's focus our hearts on God and let's worship Him through this song.
Lord, I find you in the seeking. Lord, I find you in the doubt. And to know you is to love you, and to know so little else how I need you. Oh, how I need you. Oh, how I need you. Oh, how I need you. Lord, I find you in the morning. Lord, I seek you every day. Let my life be for your glory, woven in your threads of grace. How I need you. Oh, 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 how I need you. Like glorious light, I will go where you shine. Break the dawn, crack the skies, make the way bright before me. In your light I will find all I need is you. Oh, like glorious light, I will go where you shine. Break the dawn, crack the skies, make the way bright before me. In your light I will find all I need is you. Oh, how I need 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 you.
Welcome back. Today is a day that many people have been looking forward to for quite some time. If you weren't aware, today, October 13th, is Amazon Prime Day. Now, many of you know what Amazon is because packages mysteriously arrive at your doorstep that have Amazon written all over it, and oftentimes in these packages is something pretty cool, right? Maybe that your parents have ordered, or that your parents have ordered for you, or somebody has shipped to your house. Amazon Prime Day is when they discount all sorts of things from all over Amazon. Everything, electronics, toys, video games, vacuums, everything you can imagine. is on sale today on Amazon Prime. Now, it reminded me of just how kind of silly we are sometimes, where we just order useless things and spend our money on things we sometimes don't need just because it's a good deal. And that just goes to show how much wealth we really have as a society, because we can just blow our money on Amazon Prime Day. Now, when I was thinking about this, it reminded me of a story in the Bible where somebody had very little money to give, yet she still gave it. So today's story that we're going to talk about is called The Story of the Widow's Mites. Mites is a weird word, so let's think of it as coins, all right? The story of the widow's coins. It's found in the book of Luke, and we pick up here in chapter 21. And then he turned his attention, he is talking about Jesus, and then he turned his attention from the religious scholars to some wealthy people who were depositing their donations in the offering boxes. A widow, who was obviously poor, came up and dropped 2 copper coins in one of these boxes. Jesus said, "I'm telling you the truth, this poor widow has made a bigger contribution than all of those rich fellows. They're just giving from their surplus, but she is giving from her poverty. She's giving all she has to give." As the people looked around, some were impressed with the temple's opulence, or how fancy it was. The precious stones and expensive decorations all over, but Jesus countered their observations. Jesus said, "Go ahead, look around and be impressed. But days are coming when one stone will not be left standing on top of another. Everything here will be demolished." It's an interesting story, and there's 2 things that I want to look at. One is this situation with the widow giving her coins versus the rich people giving their money. But the second thing is with the temple and how he described it as really fancy, but that it would one day all go away. So let's look at this. In the story, Jesus points out that it is not the monetary value of things that makes them important. It's not how much money something is worth or how much money is given that makes it important. We have rich people who were giving a ton of money, and even though they gave that money, it didn't make them suddenly poor. They gave that money and they were still able to do whatever they wanted to do, go buy whatever they wanted because they had plenty. Then you have this widow who has very, very little, and she drops 2 coins into the offering, and that catches Jesus' attention. Why is that? Because what she gave meant so much more to her as a person, because she gave probably a majority or a large portion of all of her money. That's all she had. But those 2 coins meant more because it affected her more. It took more of a sacrifice for her to make. So what we find here, what we learn here, is that in the grand scheme of things, in the kingdom of God and within our society as people within that kingdom of God, building each other up and trying to build this world around us up, it's not the amount, how much, it is what it actually means. When you serve somebody, when you give up your time, when you maybe don't have a lot of time, when you give money, when you may not have a lot of money in order to help others. So that's something that I want us to think about in our own lives. Like, what is it in my life that I can give? Many of you guys are young and may not have a lot of money, right? Maybe you have an allowance, maybe you have some stored away, but you might think, I don't have a lot of money, I can't do much. But that's not true, because you do have time, and perhaps you sacrifice some of your valuable time. Maybe you only have 30 minutes to play outside or to skateboard or to play video games. And if you perhaps sacrificed 15, 20 of those minutes to help your mom with some chores or to help your sibling with some chores. That would mean a lot because you are taking something that you have that is valuable and sacrificing it. So it's not how much we give, but it's what it means that makes it valuable and makes it something that builds up the kingdom of God and builds the community in our families and in our friendships and in the world around us. The second part, Jesus is talking about the fact that every stone of this fancy temple will be demolished. And as I think about what I was talking about earlier, Amazon Prime Day, you know, after this, I'm going to go look up some deals. I'm going to see if maybe there's a new camera lens that's on sale or maybe a new graphics card for my computer so that I can play even better video games. But all that stuff is going to break, right? Eventually. All that stuff is going to be obsolete not that long from now. And everything that we get so excited about in our lives, whether it's a toy, a video game, in my case some electronics, everything's going to go away. It's all going to be outdated. It's all going to get old and eventually be destroyed. So, you know, the things that matter in our lives are not physical things. The things that matter in our lives are the people around us, the relationships that we have, the friendships that we build, how we present ourselves as Christians and as part of the kingdom of God. So be thinking about that today. You know, all this stuff is going to go away. You don't need a ton of wealth to be happy or to give something that will make a difference, a meaningful difference. All you have to do is, in every day of your life, give out of, in a sacrificial way. Don't give just out of an abundance. Say, well, I'll give you a minute of my time and help you clean the kitchen for a minute, but then I've got 2 hours to go do whatever I want. That doesn't mean much. But when you give, a large amount of your time, when you don't have that much time, and it's a sacrifice, that will mean more to your parents, to your friends, to those here at school. So think about that today. What can you give that will be truly meaningful? And that means that it's going to take some sacrifice on our part. All right, well, that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. Have a great week as we wrap up this learning camp. Thursday and Friday, no classes. Remember that. It's going to be exciting as we prepare to come back to class on Monday. We will see you very soon.